pair of flying threes, is all we have to say. Hey, everybody, welcome to Mix at 3. Happy Thursday.
Welcome. Yeah, we're getting closer to the weekend, which means there's so many things to do in town, as you know.
Yes.
And today is a very exciting day for me because my mom is coming to town.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
So, she'll be here in a few hours.
Pick that baby up from Brazil. And
all the way from Brazil.
Exactly. Yeah, so you're going to be having a fun time this weekend. A little bit of rain in the forecast. Don't let that stop you from having too much fun out there, though, okay?
Yes.
Everybody enjoys splashing a little bit in the puddles. If you haven't done that in a while, you should.
Gosh, when was the last time that you did that?
You know, actually, as I just said that, I'm just like, I don't remember the last time I did that. You know what I do? Well, I take that back. It's probably about a year or two ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Heidi and I were walking down the Greenway with the dogs, and we got caught in just a downpour. And instead of just being so mad about it, I was like, well, why not just jump and splash and all the...
Well, if you count that, there was when I was training to run a half marathon last year, there was one day it was pouring. But I was running, not because I was like chasing the puddles and jump, but then I remember years ago when I was a child, there was one day it was raining in Brazil and my mom said, girls, let's go outside. I think y'all need some childhood experience.
Exactly.
Yeah, so we went in the rain and we had some fun. So I'll never forget that day, Mom, so thank you for doing that.
Exactly.
And we didn't get sick. So.
Ride your bike in the rain, too. You know, there's a big bike event that's happening, the Croc to Lock, this coming Sunday. So if it rains a little bit, so what? It just means it won't be that hot.
Just be careful with lighting.
Enjoy yourself.
We don't need all to go and risk your lives. So
hey, we've got places to go to, places to show you where to go and see, all coming up in the next 30 minutes. So sit back and enjoy the ride, shall we?
Yeah. Let's start talking about this because this is fascinating. So a new study explains why we remember things all our lives and forget other things just like that.
Like why I came into the kitchen?
Exactly. So our brains are constantly bombarded with information and experiences, but why do we store some of these memories but discard most?
Researchers at Yale University developed a computational model and a series of experiments in which people were asked if they remembered specific images shown in rapid succession. All right, we've seen this before. Okay. They found that people tend to remember things that are not easy to explain. That is, say if an experience is predictable and it's not surprising, probably will be ignored pretty quickly. They gave an example of seeing a fire hydrant in a remote, natural environment. Now, you wouldn't expect to see that, right?
Yeah, like that.
Exactly. You wouldn't immediately make sense to you, and therefore that experience may be more memorable than seeing a tree or a rock out in nature. Oh, that makes more sense to me.
Yeah.
I mean, again, I can remember every single word to I Come From a Land Down Under by Men at Work, but I couldn't tell you, you know, hey, what's next on this show? I couldn't tell you right now.
Yeah, you know, do you remember what you had for lunch yesterday? Probably not.
Did I have lunch?
That's not a good question.
Oh, okay, yeah, no.
But
I know what I had for breakfast today.
Okay, that's
my lunch that was supposed to be for today. Yeah.
Oh yes,
exactly.
Yeah, but yeah, I found this very interesting, and like they mentioned the tree and the rock, like maybe some things that are like common that you see and you don't pay too much attention, but other things are more memorable. So I don't know. I found it.
If it's oddly shaped, you might you remember something like that.
It's like if you see someone with a, how do we put this way, like with clothes that you wouldn't see walking outside.
Somebody's wearing pajamas out in the open.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's you're gonna pay attention to that. But if you see Cliff and Ned walking on the streets, you're not gonna look at us.
Well, I don't know about you. That and also sometimes it's like smells will set off memories as well too.
Oh,
so there's always things like that. So do you want to achieve success? Yeah. Make sure you have a buddy along for the ride. That's what a new research shows. Pursuing goals with your friends, that can boost your motivation and your achievement.
Okay,
Makes sense?
I totally agree with that. And so if you think of, especially like holding accountable. So if you have a friend and you start going to a gym or if you start a book club, I think chances are that you're gonna read that book. Like, you know, if your friend is reading a book, you want to talk about the book and the chapters, of course you're gonna read it. And if you're going to the gym and you have someone there, like motivating you and pushing you. So as a matter of fact, for this research, so going to the gym with a friend or even with the huddles of coordinating two schedules, that increased visits by 35%.
You had me at gym. You lost me at book club. Comic book club, maybe. We could talk about that. No, I agree with you. I think if you've got somebody that can back you up and can give you that motivation and that little extra pump and, you know. Yeah, exactly. I think that works.
And I think so too. Like, or if you want to open, have a new business, and if you have a friend that wants to come and be your partner, I think chances are that you're going to be more successful if you have someone along the ride.
Or you both fail. No, you don't. You're much more successful.
If you both fail, then y'all can rise again and try something new.
I like the way she thinks about that. Very good.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. All right. So companies that have experimented, I should say, 4-day work weeks have tried to implement it in different ways. Some rotate rosters of workers through approach, making every other Friday a day away from work. So others give summer hours on certain Fridays, making the 4-day week a seasonal thing. So while still others say it's less about the day off and more about having uninterrupted zero-meeting work days for getting things done.
And you know, we've been talking about this for years now. To prevent employee burnout, Exos CEO Sarah Robb O'Hagan switched to a 4-day work week, okay? And then had what the company called a You Do You Day, which means they can take time off, they can catch up on work, or they can attend to personal matters if they needed it. So the pilot started last spring for their 3,500 employees, the majority of getting a full day each week to plan as they wanted. The idea was to promote employees to chance quote, strategic recovery is what they were trying to do, whether for their bodies or for their minds, when trying to improve their fitness or their leadership skills.
So Exos Chief People Officer Greg Hill believes that organizations started realizing it's not possible to fix workplace issues if they didn't fix their own people. So the idea is to bring recovery into organization through flexibility.
You keep hearing more and more about a mental health day.
Yes.
You know, and if you have good bosses, they may not attribute that to your time off, your PTO or what have you. But yeah, sometimes you just like, I need a do me day.
I love this idea.
Yeah.
Okay, I think everybody should implement that. You do you Friday. You can catch up with your work if you want, or you can go home, catch up with your own personal stuff. Whatever you want to do, this is the day to do it. Even if it's a day to catch up on emails, because that's sometimes... You know our inbox like how it is right now.
I don't even want to tell you how many emails I haven't checked yet, but it's a lot too. Yeah, we need an email Friday.
Exactly.
Hey, coming up, we're going to be sharing some life-saving tips for motorists and motorcyclists so that everyone can enjoy a safe road trip season ahead. That's coming up next here on Mix at 3. Well, it's May, and that, of course, means the summer travel season is warming up. It's also Motorcycle Safety Awareness Month, as more riders take advantage of the nicer weather to get out and enjoy the open roads. Yeah,
we spoke with Motorcycle Safety Foundation rider coach and safety expert, Andrea Yu, who gave us some travel safety tips. Take a look.
Hey, Andrea, thanks for joining us here today.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Okay, I love it. Motorcycles, the gear, everything. Let's talk about this since I used to be a motorcycle rider. What are some ways that car drivers could look out for the motorcyclists?
So motorcycles have a much smaller profile than other vehicles, and they can be easily hidden in a vehicle's blind spots. So we really advise drivers to please double check, triple check your blind spots. Use your eyes, use your mirrors, and really look for motorcyclists before you're changing lanes or making a turn. Now also use your turn signals, because if you miss seeing a motorcyclist, they can see what you're trying to do, and they can adjust their speed and their position and try to avoid you. And also, of course, don't drive distracted. So put that phone down, wait to eat your meal later, and just really focus on the road, focus on driving.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So now I heard there's some cool tech out there. So can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, sure. So for motorcycle riders too, we also tell them make sure you're visible, but ride as if you're invisible. So always scan your surroundings and just go ahead and search for potential hazards. Now, when you're being visible, wear light or bright colored gear. That really helps. Gear up every ride, head to toe, wear a helmet, look for that DOT sticker, that's Department of Transportation, make sure it will protect you. We love full face helmets. Also wear a riding jacket, wear riding pants. They have abrasion resistant material. They have armor that help protect your knees and your elbows. There's also riding gloves that give you knuckle protection and palm protection, and riding shoes with extra protection around your ankles. Now the tech, this is really, really cool. There's airbag vests that you can wear. They use sensors and an algorithm to detect before a crash happens, and they will deploy before first impact.
I love it.
And again, to help you stay more visible, we have this backpack from Vata 7. It has lights on it, so you're actually more visible day and night. And what's really cool is that it will integrate with your motorcycle lighting system. So let's say you want to turn left, you turn your blinker on left, the backpack will also flash with the left light on. And of course, there's a new heads-up display in helmets. It will give you real-time navigation, real-time road alerts in your visor. It comes integrated with a communicator and a camera.
I tell you, it looks just like Tron.
So cool.
It's amazing,
yes,
right?
Yeah, so cool.
Where can people go to get more information, Andrea?
If you want to learn to ride, best thing to do is take a proper training class and get licensed. Go to the Motorcycle Safety Foundation website. We have classes for all skill levels, whether you're just starting out or you've been riding for a few years and you want to brush up on your skills. So Motorcycle Safety Foundation website, that's msf-usa.org.
Definitely check it out. I tell you what, it's a lot of fun on two wheels. I can tell you that from a previous experience. Thank you so much for all the information, Andrea. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Oh, I miss riding a motorcycle. Got to get one of those again. Hey, coming up, a new segment on the mix as we mixed on the move to different places in our area. Where are we headed to next? Find out next here on Mix at 3. The CSRA and the surrounding areas have so much to offer, but you may only know a tiny bit about those events and places. That's where we're bringing you our Mix on the Move.
That's right, and our Mix contributor Chris Lloyd got behind the wheel to take us to a very unique gathering, the Georgia Renaissance Fair.
Well, hey guys, it's Chris Lloyd for Mix on the Move, and we're out here in beautiful Fairburn, Georgia, heading to the Georgia Renaissance Fair, which is operating its 39th year. It's right on the outskirts of Atlanta, and it's going to be a lot of fun, so let's check it out.
If you've never heard of a Renaissance Fair, here's a quick history lesson for you. They've been around for over 50 years, starting way back in 1963 with a married couple, Ron and Phyllis Patterson. Phyllis was a school teacher who originally began holding Renaissance reenactments after school for her students as a sort of interactive history museum. But the potential was there to do so much more with the concept. So, in the summer of 1963, Ron and Phyllis worked with a local radio station to hold the very first Renaissance Fair, a 2-day event of fun, costumes, and period-accurate merriment. The fair took hold of the U.S., with many other versions popping up in different states year after year.
Now, you don't have to dress up to enjoy the Ren Fair, but it does greatly enhance the experience, so let's go ahead and get into costume. Well, they say blondes have more fun. I guess we'll see if that's true.
The first thing you'll notice about the Georgia Ren Fair is just how large the village of Newcastle is. Just take a look at this map. It's huge. You're definitely going to get your steps in here. The other thing you might notice is, in a lot of ways, it's very similar to your average state fair. You've got rides, haunted houses, delicious food made by dragons, and lots of shows. Like Zoltan, the world's most adequate magician. There's something for everyone here, and enough that you'll have to come back several times to see it all. For Wes Carter, the official photographer of the Georgia Ren Fair, there's enough to keep him coming back for almost 10 years now.
It's such an eclectic group. Even though they call it the Renaissance Festival, they come dressed in any comfort level they have, and they love getting their pictures taken.
On average, how many people do you think you see in one weekend at the festival here?
It ranges between 7,000 and 9,000 per day. I take, during a season of the 8 weekends, about 40,000 pictures.
There's a good reason to come back each weekend, too, because each weekend has a different theme. The weekend I went was Pet Weekend, so lots of four-legged friends were there. Dogs and cats not your thing? Well, why not come back for Viking Weekend? Or Pirate Weekend? Not only there are a lot of shows and a lot of things to do, a lot of carnival games to play, but there's also a lot of shops selling local handmade goods.
We have dedicated crafters that's, a couple of them spend that's their full-time job back home. They might not even be on circuit, but they make stuff for us full-time and then ship it out to us. For the most part, we can tell you by name who made what item and what materials it's made of and all this and that.
And hey, if shopping's not your thing either, sometimes it's nice to just sit back and people watch. All right, I'm bored. I want to see somebody hit something. I'm gonna be real with you guys. The joust just awakens something in you. You're not you when you're at the joust. It just fulfills some deep primal urge to see people and horses whack each other with sticks.
Well, the thing about Georgia is that it's so small, you can't go anywhere without running into somebody that you know.
Hello!
Also from the mix, Shay is here at the Georgia Ren Fair as well. So Shay, how you liking things?
So this is my first time here, and I am actually surprised at how big it is. Lots of fairies and lots of merriment, so I'm excited. I'm really excited for the food.
Yeah, it's 32 acres, and they use pretty much every last acre to their advantage.
Yes.
I think this is my second time being here, and it's every time I go, there's something new I see. It's
something
pretty
new.
crazy.
And pretty accurate. You've got the barkers, come wrestle me and things like that. So, I don't know.
Well, yeah, have you wrestled anybody yet?
I haven't. Let's see how I end up by the end of the day.
Why should someone like the average person come do this?
Yeah, there's a lot of people who are in everyday clothing, so you don't have to do all this. You can honestly just wear something comfortable. I think that it's fun to experience what medieval times could be, but in an area where you can play around and walk around. Like I said, good food, and everybody's really friendly. I've gotten a lot of compliments. I got a lot of really nice people, and you can buy some really cool stuff.
Yeah, everybody here is super down to earth, super nice. It's just a lot of fun to get to mingle and hang out, like you said, in the medieval times.
Yes.
So a lot of cool stuff to do. I'm gonna let you go hang out, enjoy the Ren Fair some more.
Yay.
Oh, all right. Well, that was a lot of fun. If you are interested in the Ren Fair, go to garenfest.com. It is open until June 2nd, 2024, from 10:30 a.m. till 6 o'clock. Definitely come check it out. I'm going to send things back to you guys.
All right, thank you, Chris.
Good job, Chris. So cool. And I have to agree with you. Blondes have more fun. Okay?
I think I like him better as a brunette. Some of the other points that Chris wanted to give us as well. If you go to the Ren Fair, definitely bring cash. Most booths will not accept credit cards.
Okay.
All right. Bring an appetite.
Oh.
I mean, come on, do you see
I'm
the turkey legs out there?
Yeah.
Absolutely. And arrive early to get there for the introductory ceremony. You don't want to miss that. Also, you want to get a good parking spot too.
Oh,
so
yeah,
be
that's
sure
for
that you get out there soon enough for that.
Make sure to check that out. Yeah.
All right, that's another mix on the move there for you. Coming up, many social media users are blocking celebrities, and some people are calling it a digital guillotine or a digitine. We'll explain what's happening after the break. Well, there's a new movement on social media. It's called Blockout 2024 in response to celebrities' views, or lack thereof, on Palestine. To understand the context of this campaign, let's rewind back to last week's Met Gala. And a now deleted video, influencer Haley Bailey, whose real name is Haley Khalil, posed outside of the event dressed in an extravagant floral gown and headpiece. She said, "Let them eat cake." Those infamous words, often attributed to Marie Antoinette, the Queen of France during the French Revolution. Well, they have in popular imagination become synonymous with an elite so disconnected with the lives of citizens unable to find that even bread, that they suggest cake is an alternative, right? The juxtaposition of celebrities dripping in wealth and Palestinian parents mourning their dead children shocked the world.
So yeah, so people made comparisons to the Hunger Games, where wealthy Capitol residents dressed in opulent clothing while children were murdered in the games. After the Met Gala, a TikTok user sparked the Block Out 2024 movement, saying, quote, "It's time to block all the celebrities, influencers, and wealthy socialites who are not using their resources to help those in dire need. So we gave them platforms. It's time to take it back, take our views away, our likes, our comments, and our money," end quote.
Social media users claim that Kim Kardashian has also lost a number of followers because of this, as well as Taylor Swift, Beyonce, Justin Bieber, Zendaya, and even Harry Styles. With enough people boycotting celebs and their products, well, the goal is, I guess, to potentially affect their ad revenue, their business sales, and engagement. The question is, how long is this going to last?
Some people are already saying that it's starting to fade out, but I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know. We're going to have to check about this, too. But
Yeah.
also, you know, some celebrities, things come out of their mouths. They don't even know what they're saying sometimes. You know.
That's what
so
some people are saying. Like, with 7 months into this war, it's time enough to get some knowledge and know. But they have the right to not say things if they don't want to, even they're like public people. But they say, as public people, they should be making comments and remarks about this. I don't know.
I don't know.
I think
guess
it's
we'll find out.
complicated. I'm not going to block out anybody, okay? I'll stay in my lane.
Stand by. We got First at 4 on the way with the latest news from our area. Investigate TV Plus coming up next.
All right, thanks for watching. See you tomorrow.